No? Now? Stop. Yeah, I see the stop broadcast button. So we are live. Good evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, doesn't matter. A good something to you, right? This is the ABC show starring Attila and
B-Man.
B-Man, B with the Ryan.
B to the Ryan.
B to the Ryan, right? That's a fantasy guy version. Fantasy guy. Family guy. Good God, this show's starting off well. So
I feel like it's gonna start every time just awful because we never.
Well, we never know when it's on.
Delays.
It's on, and then we're like, is it on?
Well, I know when it's on, but you're always guessing. You're always second guessing it.
I am second guessing because I don't
trust
the machine and I don't trust young guys.
On.
What?
That's when it's on. When he's.
Yes.
So now you don't have to question it anymore. When it comes on, then you can.
I'll question
then you
it
can
again.
do the intro.
I'll question it again.
All right.
I will. I probably will.
Continue with your plugs.
My plugs?
Yeah, your plugs.
Oh yes. Well, these aren't really plugs.
You're not gonna do plugs this week?
Yeah. You know what? You know what's exciting? Actually, we have a guest lined up. Not for today, but we do have our first guest. It's going to be Michael Albrecht. Chubb knows who he is.
Hey.
That's right. Hey, Chubb, introduce yourself.
He's on the air now.
I don't want to be introduced.
He's the C. That's my younger brother Chubb, who's actually turning 40 tomorrow. Jesus.
No,
40.
Don't remind me.
40.
And he's not speaking in the
How
microphone.
do you think I feel? You're 40. How do you think I feel?
He doesn't want to be heard.
Exactly. You can't see him, though, because he's too ugly on.
We don't even know.
So anyway, Michael Albrecht has agreed to be our first guest. He's a really cool guy. Chubba knows him. Chubba actually destroyed his cymbals. I'll bring that up to Mike.
I don't remember that.
He denies it. You know what?
I don't know who that
too
is.
much Paul over the years will do that to
you.
You just forget things.
Remind me who that is.
Well, Michael, he pretty much does everything. I mean, what doesn't he do? He's first of all, he's a very good drummer. He's also a very good writer. He writes for all kinds of he writes for a couple of drum magazines. He used to write. He wrote like 4 or 5 history books during the Revolutionary War.
He's been published in Modern Drummer. That's like the biggest drum magazine.
Well, I think he actually writes for them. We'll get all that from him straight.
He may actually write for them now, but I know his book that he put together.
Fundamentals of Drumming.
Fundamentals of Teaching Kids.
Well, I thought it was fundamentals of drumming, fundamental of drums. Whatever, he's gonna be on. He's gonna talk about it with us.
Right.
Sorry, Mike, I don't mean to be butchering the name of your book. This is how I roll. I'm happy. I remember, the titles to my own songs. How many times did I stand on stage like, Jay, what the hell is this song called?
You don't need to know the names.
No, I don't.
Words.
Well, I don't know that either half of the time, man. I used to have cheat sheets all over. Ask Chubb, man. There'd be cheat sheets all over the stage.
Okay, fucker.
And people would be like, wow, this dude really runs around. He's a madman on stage. No, I'm rushing from cheat sheet to cheat sheet to cheat. Where's that cheat sheet? I got little arrows put up and shit. Go there next.
So I'm a guitar player.
It's a freaking treasure hunt for me. Treasure hunt of words when I'm on stage.
Guitar player is...
Finish tonight, yay!
Guitar's easy to do. If you mess up, you can just make it up as you go along.
Well, you know what you do when you forget what you're about to sing live? You just put the mic out. Like, let the crowd sing. I forgot the words. Here you go.
Vince Neil must have done that, or should have done that at the show.
I heard he should have done that, yes.
Holy fuck, from the most words. He should have just fucking held the crowd.
Oh, yeah, you
went to the crowd.
You went to that show.
Why is that backwards?
He sounded like shit.
Yeah, you know what? That's
Motley
not the first
Crue.
time I heard that. Actually, Mark Madden was talking about the Motley Crue show.
They should retire.
And
Yeah, it was terrible.
you know what though? Nikki Sixx, man, you gotta check out 6 a.m. That's a good ass
That's
band.
what I hear.
That is a good ass band. The first shit I heard from them, I'm like, holy crap! Which is kind of funny because Nikki, I remember he was talking about when the band joined, right? And they were looking for a bass player. But Nicky didn't know how to play anything. He just had the looks and the long hair and everything, right? So dude goes in, he decides he's going to steal a bass and join Motley Crue. He stole a guitar. He shows up. He shows up with a guitar.
It was a Gibson Les Paul too.
Yeah.
He stole.
So he stole. So that's how you got it done. But was it Nicky?
Your kid is awesome.
Yeah,
Is it-
he's pretty cool.
Is it was it Tommy Lee's mom who was like
Ruined the
super
show.
hot and Nicky was constantly trying to bang her?
Yeah.
I
I
think he's still scheming trying to bang Tommy's mom.
Even though she's 84.
She probably still looks good,
Maybe.
But yeah,
Probably
so
looks better than what's their guitar player's
Probably
name?
looks
Mick Mars.
Mick Mars.
Well, yeah, I think Mick Mars was 60 whenever the band like got together.
Yeah.
You know,
What is he now?
No, he was like
168?
he was what, like 32?
is that all he was?
At the time, well, at the time, yeah, but
Well, yeah, but everybody else was 60.
everybody else was like, yeah, right, 17, 18, maybe.
Nikki Sixx was 21. He was just 21 when they started the band. So
And then Vince goes and
Vince
kills
Neil-
somebody.
Vince Neil,
Yeah.
Vince Neil was 19. Nikki Sixx was 21. I think Tommy Lee was just 20. And then Mick Mars was like fucking 40.
I'm pretty
sure
Mick Mars
He
is
was
dead now,
30
though.
something.
Well, you know,
I saw him on stage. I mean, unless he died within this past month.
look,
I
the
saw
freaking Rolling Stones are still like somehow
Keith-
jamming.
Keith Richards.
And the
fucking
Rolling Stones, by the way, their drummer looked old when they were young.
Yeah.
Keith Richards is 80 years old and he is still playing.
Is he actually 80? Yeah, I guess he would be about
He
that.
looks like he's
He's at least 70.
140.
No, when
But he's another guy who's always looked old.
the Stones
Yeah.
started in 62. He was already in his 20s when the Stones started. So that was 62.
Yeah.
He was in his 20s.
So we're now talking
I
about
think
another
now,
band where all the members
he's
are
like
post-mortem.
It's always right.
They're still alive though.
No, they're
That's the
dead.
thing, like,
They're dead. They've been reanimated.
Ironically, the Grateful Dead lost one of their members.
The Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Did you say?
Not so grateful now.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never.
He might be grateful. I don't know.
I never even listened to him.
No, I wasn't a big. You know what? The thing about the Grateful Dead is like going to see them is like watching a garage jam session. Like it's just never ending. They just jam all night long. You know, I like
No,
if
dude,
I'm
it's
paying
like,
for
if
tickets
you
to see
wanna-
something, I like to see something structured.
If you want to do nothing but like smoke pot and kill your brain cells all night, yeah, like yeah, Grateful Dead.
Well,
man.
they just.
Well, that was their fan base though,
Yeah,
mostly.
We need to get another microphone in here.
I could smoke an ounce of pot and still not be dumb enough to listen to that shit.
You know what though? They do have some pretty cool tunes. I will give them that. They do have some
good
pretty
tunes.
cool tunes.
They're
They're
not
good
musicians,
Yeah.
but they.
But all they do is just jam. It's like going to see them as a jam
Exactly.
session. So
They're fucking annoying.
Fish
at
was
most
the
of
same
time.
way.
Yeah, yeah,
Fish
yeah.
was the same way.
Yeah.
Great musicians, and they had some cool songs, but then it's like they all took fucking mushrooms.
it just goes
for
on.
the rest
Well,
of
you
the
know what though?
album,
Led
you know?
Zeppelin did a lot of that shit too,
What
man.
the fuck?
Like you got like Achilles' Last Stand, dude. The one time my buddy
Yeah.
Dave and I we were driving back, we were at work, right? And we were driving back. I think we might have been high, but
Thank you.
we're driving back and frickin' in our stoned world, that song just did not end. I don't think we had an extra plug.
Yeah,
Russ.
no, you just gotta
We're out
look.
of plugs.
An extra plug.
He just wants to look the part.
I'm gonna feel like I have headphones on. Right?
So yeah, so every time we come to a red light, and you know the song sounds like the drum field's like doing the grum bum grum bum grum bum, and then it continues, and it continues, and just goes on forever. And I was just like, Jesus
Freebird
Christ,
Solo.
a Freebird, dude! If I had a buck for every time some asshole yelled Freebird in the club,
Anytime you hold a guitar.
I've never done a show where someone didn't yell Freebird.
Yeah.
No, I don't fucking know Freebird. I'm sorry.
In Hotel
I know-
California,
I can play it. I know
those two
Freebird,
songs
but
should
I'm not
just
gonna play it
be
for you.
burned.
Well,
They should never
you know
play
what?
them anywhere.
I'll take anything the Eagles have ever done over Leonard Skinner. Although I do love that Skinner. That I know a
I'll
little.
take anything
I know a
that's
little about
cool,
it.
too. I'll take
Yeah.
anything that Steve Miller
I like
played
Tuesdays
over
Gone.
the Eagles.
Yeah, Steve Miller's cool too.
Song.
You know what the funny thing is? My favorite Steve Miller song is the one that every like true Steve Miller band fan hates. Like I love Abracadabra, and they all hate that song.
Yes.
They hate that song.
That's a great
Yeah,
tune.
yeah.
That's
But
a great fucking song.
It is, but if you talk to any of like,
Technically,
if you,
it's a technically great song.
but if you talk to the hardcore Steve Miller band fans, the ones from like the '70s and shit,
want to fly into the future, guy.
but they all hate that song because it's so pop compared to anything else from the '70s, you know.
Well,
So-
I mean, they became pop. At
Well,
some
of course.
point-
Why wouldn't
at
they?
some point in their career.
But everybody
I don't know
does.
if
I
it
mean,
was-
Yes wised up and wrote some songs that
Was
people
it the
can actually listen to.
mid-60s? Was it the mid-60s or the late 60s that Steve Miller Band really gained notoriety?
Oh, it was through the '70s. '70s.
See, because they were big
The 70s
in the 60s. They were pretty big in the 60s, not necessarily in the United States, because that was the whole Beatles invasion
Right.
and all that shit.
Right.
But Steve Miller Band, they were around. They were around
Oh,
early,
a lot of them are.
early to late.
Look, most bands,
early 60s to late 70s, Steve Miller Band was going strong.
by the time you hear about them, have been
Yeah.
around for like 10 years.
Exactly.
It's just how it is, you know. Unless you're like a boy
It's like
band that
Payback
some
Wolf,
studio head
you
puts
know?
together somewhere, you
It's an
know.
education.
And then
show.
your very first album goes quadruple platinum because every 12-year-old girl buys it. You know, that's about the only way, you know. But
Justin Bieber effect.
right, you know, like I said, studio produced guys. But if you're actually looking at bands who like formed on their own, Most of them been around 5,
Like,
6, 10 years, you know. Even Metallica was around for around 3 or 4 years before, like they had their first.
Metallica was around quite a bit before they.
Right. Well, I mean,
Right.
they had to get rid of Dave
Early
Mustaine first, and then then they.
No. See, that's the thing. Dave Mustaine, he was awesome.
Oh, I love.
No, he was a
I
prick.
like Megadeth, man.
He's a prick. Yes, he's a prick.
Yeah.
He still is. No, he's all
He
right.
still is a prick.
No, yeah,
No,
he's pretty much still.
I like Megadeth. The only thing I can't take is
I
that
don't like
thin
Megadeth.
sound. He's got such
I
a
can't
thin
stand
guitar sound that it
Megadeth.
hurts.
I can't take Megadeth.
His
Go-
guitar sound is awful.
It's very.
Hello, me.
It's very single-minded.
It's me again.
You know.
I like Megadeth. You know. That ain't bad, actually.
That's all
That's a
it
pretty good
is.
Dave Mustaine.
That's really all it is. But the thing is, he really has no artistic vision for the band. It was just what he wanted Metallica to be, and then Megadeth became that.
He's like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Metallica
You know?
wanted to be with like 2 decent songs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, the best move I think,
Generate.
as far as like splits, I think the greatest split was Ozzy from Black Sabbath, because his shit became so good once he left Black Sabbath,
Yes,
and he got
yes.
and you know, they brought in real musicians, and
That is true,
not to
but
say
I
that
didn't
the
like
guys in
the split.
Sabbath aren't
I
good,
didn't
but
like the split though.
Geezer Butler?
believe me, I couldn't
Geezer
take
Butler was
Ozzy and
amazing.
Sabbath. I couldn't take that mixture, man.
Ozzy was great.
Oh, my God.
I'd have to
And his
disagree with that.
music
one.
afterwards
I was
great.
never a fan of Tony Iommi.
Once
Tony
I never a fan
Look,
of him.
I
Once-
don't know any of his shit.
once
That's-
Sharon
He doesn't have any fingers. How can you play guitar without fingers?
once Sharon
He's amazing.
He made a great sound with no fingers. You know what he used?
his penis.
No, he said, because he was just like
He
us.
should've.
All
just
3
like
of his
us,
penises.
Bryan, just like us. He was a dishwasher at the time. So he took all the plastic that they didn't use in the dishwashing station, and he melted them into fingerprints. And that's what he used for his sound. That's the
Really?
point.
By the way, for those of you who
I
are
love
wondering
it.
who the hell that is speaking, that is Russell,
My name's
Brian's
Russell.
brother.
That's my brother.
I'm
He
Bryan
wandered in.
Butler.
He wandered in here drunk.
I'm unseen because I wandered in here drunk.
You wandered in here drunk.
Any of the ABCs.
As you see, we're a relaxed place here. Why is that
Yeah.
ABC show backwards? I
Didn't
know
we
I
go
asked
over
that.
this before?
We did. Go over it again for
No.
those who missed it,
Because
like me.
it's not going to look backwards to them because it's reversed.
Talk over me.
Because
Hmm.
we see it like a mirror.
Is anybody calling in?
Shit.
How do we know if somebody calls in?
Well,
One
We'll
viewer.
hear it.
Is that your mom?
Probably.
Hi,
Probably.
Colleen.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
it's all right. It's all being recorded, so a bunch of people will watch it afterwards.
Where's the
anyway.
terrible towel? You should like.
That's where we
step
get
in
most of our
the terrible
viewers.
towel.
All right, so here's some of the. Anyway, so getting back to Mike, man. What else does he do? He writes books. He writes for magazines. He had that baseball you stink, like the 100 worst baseball
Who we
teams
talking
ever or whatever.
Yeah.
Our first official guest is going to be Michael Albrecht. The guy's like an author.
about?
He's
You know
a
the guy?
drummer.
You know the guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Friend of ours.
And Mike and I
He's famous.
met at the Army Commissary. We both worked there.
You worked at the Army.
I worked at the Army Commissary when my hair was down to here, man.
Is that where you met him?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to stock shelves, man. That's how I met Mike, through Dave. And
There's
yeah,
no way for me to plug in, is there?
No.
Like, no
But you
way
look cool with
whatsoever.
headphones.
yeah, it works.
We need to get
Besides, no
another
one can
splitter.
see you.
No, they will see me. Hold on.
No.
No, you're gonna ruin
We're good,
everything.
Dad. Don't do
Come
it.
on,
Don't
come
do
on.
it.
Don't do it.
Chill.
Don't do it.
There, they saw you. Oh God.
He has headphones on.
Now they're
He's
calling and
legit.
telling us to, sit him back down.
That's all you get.
He
That's all
bumped
you see.
everything.
You get
So
my face.
anyway, so I found a couple of the topics that I thought were very interesting. I'll bring them up here real quick. This is actually, I don't know if this is funny or scary or actually a mixture of both, but Russian bank.
Hopefully more funny.
Well, I don't know.
Anything can be made fun of, so.
Yeah,
it's more
absolutely.
funny.
Absolutely.
I don't know if anyone can notice, but you have a serious accent.
Thank you. So Russian bank hires two
Very Romanian.
Russian bank hires 2 former U.S. senators. Isn't that awesome?
What?
So yep. Check this out. Don't ask me to pronounce their name. It's Gazprombank, a Russian bank targeted with sanctions by President Obama
GPP.
over the Ukraine crisis, has hired 2 former U.S. senators to lobby against those sanctions, according to a new disclosure filed with the Senate. In a filing submitted Friday and effective that day, former Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott, some of you might remember this guy, he's a Republican from Mississippi, and former Senator John Breaux, he's a Democrat from Louisiana, are listed as the main lobbyists under the Gazprombank account
PPB.
from the firm Squire Patton Boggs, lobbying on banking laws and regulations, including applicable sanctions.
Is that good?
So,
No entertainment or-
so
They can hear you through our mic.
yeah, we can hear you. You know.
Yeah. In
So
fact,
anyway-
that's probably where most of your guys' sound is coming from anyway, because you're not talking to the mic.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
So this is like how low our Senate has sunk. All of our former senators, like they don't stay in government
Are you
anymore.
sure
Now
it's
what
not
they
just
do?
how low the Russian bank
Okay,
is?
so-
No. Because here's the
Because
thing.
if you're
Does this
anybody
have anything
and you
to do
hire
with the
like
Crimean
if you hire American politicians, you're probably scum.
Well, no, you're smart because you
How
can
dare
get them to do your dirty work for you. That's their job. See, that's
Or
what these
another
guys
word,
do.
scum.
Like for an example, more than 300 members of Congress
This is Sparta.
have become lobbyists and began petitioning former colleagues on behalf of clients, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. So think about this for a minute, all right? So we've got these U.S. senators that we elect, right? They go in, they serve 4 or 6 years, whatever. I think it's 6 years. So they go do their thing. So why should they stay on for another term when they could just quit, become a lobbyist, make 10 times the amount of money that they're making there, and they can just run this country into the shit?
Why are you giving them ideas?
Oh, I don't need to.
That is-
I think they're doing it quite well on their own. I'm just saying, there are more than 300 members, more than 300 of them.
Your name alone just screams infiltration.
Yes, but when you think
You're
about
break
that,
down our walls of China, man.
so think about that just for a minute, all right? So these guys,
Immigration
these
reform.
elected people,
Ask Attila.
these elected people just all of a sudden say, you know what? I'm going to sell out to anybody who's willing to throw a boatload of money at me, and that's what they're doing now. So we have sanctions. Well, not anyone, not anyone, but in politics most certainly, and that's what these cats are doing.
You tell me right now there is no politician that would accept.
That's I said anyone in politics, yeah. Anyone in
What are we
politics.
talking about? We're just talking about like anyone in general.
I think lobbyists should be people
I'll
who
jump in.
decorate lobbies.
I'll bunch of,
It would be nice. Look,
I will.
There's so
I will
many
bunch
things that you need to-
myself- I
you
will
need-
bunch
If you don't have a
myself with
fountain in your lobby,
lobbyists.
you're not a legit business.
yeah,
That's just another
But
observation.
it's crazy because these lobbying firms, they actually have, like that. That's just they're literally there's no standards, nothing. Just anybody. If you got connections to the White House, if you got connections
Are you
to
playing drums
the
right
Senate, if you have connections to
now?
Congress,
Are you playing drums
you're in
right
there.
now? Are
So
you playing
I'm
drums
being
right now?
so distracted by
It's
this.
like-
I know. Hey Russ, please, let's go easy.
Sorry,
We can't have a bunch of people.
He's drunk talking back here. We're trying to carry a conversation.
I'm just watching Chubb's body language, and it looks like he's playing drums.
Well, that's because he's a drummer. That's what they
It's just
do.
his heartbeat. It's moving like
So
this.
here's
now.
another cool thing I found, right? So after crushing World Cup, Microsoft is predicting the NFL's whole season.
Whoa.
So Bing's mobile search engine predicted, Bing's mobile search engine predicts that there's a 74.2% chance that the defending champion Seattle Seahawks will beat the Green Bay Packers in their first game, which they did, ironically. They did. But, so this is where it's getting now.
How's that
So-
ironic? That'd just be a
Hold
coincidence.
on, wait. I didn't follow that game.
Get your grammar
Seattle
right.
really whooped their ass? Really?
Oh, yeah. That game wasn't even close.
Which brings us to other news.
What happened to
The
the
football
Packers?
season is officially
What happened
started.
to them? The Packers used to be, a decent team.
The same thing that happened to the Steelers. They suck now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
What a fucking 3-hour waste of fucking time. That was
Oh, I can't. You know what? Let's not even get into the NFL because I cannot
Don't
stop. I
fucking
can't
mention
watch
it.
football anymore, man.
Dude, I
I'll sit here and
despise
play
It is
the
so
NFL
painful to watch that
I
crap.
despise it.
I will punch myself.
I'd rather talk about the people who talk about football. Those are the most annoying people in the fucking
Okay,
world.
we whooped the shit out of the Browns.
Oh,
Browns got what was coming to them, but
We didn't whoop them. We beat them by like 3 points.
yeah, we whooped them in the first half.
We did.
Yeah.
That's
That was
it.
it.
Then they started whipping us.
Then we went to
No,
slip.
that's the thing.
And
We
then
haven't scored a
the Steelers
touchdown
haven't done-
since.
Yeah, they
We
haven't
haven't scored a
done
touchdown
shit
since.
You should get
So-
closer when you talk.
So yeah,
Speak directly into it.
you're hogging it up.
He's too.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, get up to the mic,
I
Joe.
don't really
He's
give
too
a
pissed
fuck.
off about the fucking Steelers.
We can hear him back here.
I don't
anymore.
blame him.
loud enough.
Here's a really cool thing that a friend of mine posted on Facebook, and I was totally digging this. So now it turns out that we live in the Laniakea Galactic Supercluster, which is really, really cool. Yeah, Laniakea. It means
Is it Laniakea or Laniakea?
Laniakea. Like I said, it Laniakea. So it means immeasurable heaven in Hawaiian. Pretty cool. But So like
Why
apparently.
did why did the Hawaiians get to name it? Did they find it? Did they discover it?
Well, they probably ran out of naming shit than like in Roman and in Latin.
Yeah, they're
So
Yeah.
there's only so many things you can name in Latin
They're
before you
like-
run out of
There's
shit.
no limit.
too.
There's no limit to naming anything in life.
Yeah, I think they ran out. So he said, all right, what's next? Hawaiian. We haven't named anything Hawaiian ever since we named Pele, so we'll just go with that. But that was actually, it was a really, really cool thing because now they were able to measure, they can tell which way our galaxy is going. And while the universe is expanding, it's all, there are these things called the Great Attractor. So, like,
We already know where everything.
basically when a universe is created, right, you have dark matter and dark energy. Dark energy is forcing everything apart, and dark matter clumps. And
Technically, dark matter is not scientifically proven.
neither were black holes until 10 years later. You know what I mean?
I mean, black holes are scientifically
Well,
proven.
now we know that, but
Yeah.
back when I was a kid, back when I was a kid, people were like, "Oh, black holes, that's science fiction,"
But hey,
and then they proved. So
I'm
we
just
know
saying,
these things exist.
When you were a kid, that's like 10 years before I was a kid.
back when
You
there were
weren't
only
even
like
in
2
your daddy's
billion people.
nutsack when I was a kid.
Okay, when were you a kid?
When was I a kid? I'm 46, so you go
You're
figure.
46.
I'm
Oh,
When were
46.
you were a
My
kid?
dad's not even as old as you, so
See?
shit. He's a pretty good singer, though. just
That's
like
good.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if he's good as
This
good as you.
digression has been truly pointless.
I'm not sure if he's as good as you, but he's pretty good.
Oh, good for him.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like.
So,
That's what my dad sounds like. Exactly.
but anyway, so I thought it was really cool because now they were actually able to track it with a chart, and they call these things, which the name of it sounds so hokey. It's called the Great Attractor, right?
Great attractor.
Yeah. That's what
That's
they
what they call
named
me.
it.
Is that like the synapse?
To me, that's like a
of the neuron?
prostitute. She's the Great Attractor,
Is
you know?
that the synapse of
Heidi
the neuron?
Fleiss,
Yeah, Heidi Fleiss, the Great Attractor.
the great
Text
zometer.
messages between the two.
Well, apparently there are a few of these
She's
great
the
attractors, and these great attractors, what they do is they pull galaxies in a certain motion towards
Okay.
them.
I get
So,
what you're saying now.
so that's what they named it, the Great Attractor. But it's really cool. So every time you think, oh, okay, so we kind of know more about the universe now. All of a sudden, something else pops up, and you say, oh, damn, we know more, but I swear we know less. You know, if that makes any sense.
We don't know shit.
No,
the more we know,
The more we know, the less
The more-
we know.
that
The more
means the
questions
more-
we have.
exactly, the more we want to know, which means the less we really know.
Mathematically,
So let's just stop learning.
Do you want to do math?
Why do you
No, we have
headphones
computers
on?
for that.
Do math? Because I don't want to do math.
It's funny because he's got the headphones on and he has a microphone, but his headphones aren't plugged in. Chubb has the headphones plugged in, but he's not by the microphone. I wish you guys could see this. It's a bit of a train wreck over there.
I'm taking your spot.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, one of my favorite things,
He
by the
doesn't
way.
want to be here
Chime
anyway.
in. You're supposed to chime in on anything.
So what do you guys think? The Great Attractor, could they have come up with a better name? Can I petition somebody at NASA to come up with a better name?
How about Hag?
Galactic Whore.
How
The
about
what?
Galactic Whore.
Galactic Whore? That's as good as the Great Attractor.
Galactic Cum Bucket.
the
So-
intergalactic vagina?
Intergalactic Cum Bucket.
Yeah,
how
who
about,
knows? But
How about fucking magnets? How do they work?
magnets.
Oh,
I wonder if they're
yeah,
attracted to the
okay,
Great
we're
Attractor.
getting- Okay, that's ICP right there. He's talking about the insane clown posse. They came out with this song called Miracles.
Yeah, it's
and
stupid.
This song is
They're
so
stupid.
fucking retarded. You have no idea. Okay.
Well, they're.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, well, name me one song that's
No,
not.
Listen. I am sorry. I did not mean to insult any retards, any mentally retarded people. I did not mean to insult you by comparing these idiots from ICP to you. Honestly, I am so fucking sorry.
What was the?
Because listen, no,
What was
they
the lyric?
honestly ask how magnets work. How the fuck are you gonna ask how?
Well, that's what their
magnets work?
song is about?
It's like
No,
air,
Miracles.
water,
They have a
fire,
song
earth,
called Miracles,
fucking
like-
magnets. How do
How
they
does-
work?
How
That's the
do
lyric, I think,
magnets
something
work?
like that.
How do magnets work? How the
Well,
fuck do you think magnets work?
Maybe you'd know if you fucking stayed in school beyond 4th grade.
No, hey,
you know.
But you know what?
I'm gonna combat that. And they were in school until like 9th grade. They went to school until 9th grade. No,
That's
that
like-
is enough. That is enough to.
To ask a deep question like, how do magnets work?
No, it's.
You could not go to school ever
that
and
is
just
enough
fucking
to
Google
start
it.
business. That is
That's
enough to
true.
start business in this country.
You don't need to even
That's
go to
the
school at all. You could just grow
You know
up.
what? You would.
Anyway,
You know what? You
What we're
would.
gonna
If you,
say
if you,
right now, magnets. One magnet has a positive charge. The opposite attraction has a negative charge. The positive charge attracts the negative charge.
So when two positives go at each other, they can't
When two
touch.
positives go at each other,
That's right.
They
pull
miss.
apart.
You ever try to push it like?
Exactly. And now,
What about the two negatives? They do the same thing.
the two negatives do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's weird how that works.
Oh, dude, we have just blown their
Mind
entire
blown.
minds.
It's
If the ICP is watching, man, they're just sitting at home like going, "Holy shit!"
Like
oh my
they
God,
couldn't
they
have.
know what's going on.
They couldn't have thought of
Even though
something.
Everyone has known this shit for 200 years.
But I can almost.
They couldn't have thought of something that we don't know, like fucking
Like,
dark matter.
oh,
How
dark
does that
matter, how
work?
does it work?
Like, yeah, you got a point there, but you know, you're gonna pick
Jesus
magnets.
walks on water. How does that work?
Well, I can
It's like
see.
fucking grass. How does it grow?
But
That doesn't make sense.
but
You can't
that sounds
explain
to me.
that science.
That sounds to me like that song came from a high moment.
That's
Somebody probably grabbed the fridge, grabbed the beer out of the fridge or something, or somebody.
No.
It fell off. The magnet fell off the fridge.
You are. If you ask that fucking question, you're a fucking complete moron.
Thank you.
Well, you're probably insane, or you're a clown, or you run with an insane clown
Now
posse.
listen. They quit smoking marijuana for that album so they could give the best possible outcome to their let's say crowd, to their
crowd of like
to their-
meth
to
addicts.
their crowd of hardcore tweakers and extreme alcoholics. Yeah.
Well,
But anyway,
we all have goals,
they
buddy.
quit smoking pot for that.
Well, good for them,
Why didn't you keep smoking pot, and then maybe you could fucking think.
because they ran out of deep shit to talk about.
Maybe magnets work. Maybe magnets work. A positive and a negative charge react differently than a positive charge. Did you ever think of that? Did
But then
ever
you
think
get
of
compasses that get all jacked up when you get
How
to
does
certain places on the
electricity work?
planet.
Like I flicked that switch and suddenly we have light in here.
Oh yeah. Well,
Well, you got the little
how does it work? Oh,
electrons that bounce back and forth
Nope.
in there.
It's
even
God.
though
It's God.
It's Christianity.
Christianity made it happen.
It was my electrician.
That's
That's how it
It's
works.
Chubb's
My
electrician.
electrician.
Chubb's electrician is
It
God.
was all Chubb's
Wow.
electrician.
What's his
ABC
name?
Show. C stands for Chubb. And Chubb's electrician.
That's
His name
right.
That's
is
the reason
E.
you have electricity.
His name is E.
I don't care who
E.
you are, where you live.
E
If
is
you don't have
God.
Chubb's electrician, then you're a piece of shit.
All right. So
Doesn't make any
that,
sense.
well said. So then here's okay. This guy gets my douche of the decade award.
Oh my.
Yeah. I saw. Well, first of all, I saw this guy interviewed. I want to say about 6 years ago, give or take. He is the CEO of Nestle. The Swiss company.
Oh, no.
So basically,
Peter
the CEO
Bryan.
of
Don't
Earth
even tell me.
Peter Brayback, right? I guess is this guy's
Nestle
name.
owns pretty
And-
much everything.
Oh, they do, yeah. Well, they own a bunch of our underground water
No.
as well.
Yeah,
But,
they own underground water,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they do not own.
They own like
water.
50% of the water in our bodies.
Damn it! That's good. I like that.
That's true.
So all right. So here's the fight. So California is
They
apparently
patented that
California has been SoCal has been suffering like drought going on, and people have to
don't
ration
even
and shit,
tell me
right?
that shit
So-
either.
No. Listen.
Oh my
Just
God.
listen. All right. So Nestle is bottling California's water, selling it, and profiting while the state suffers
Bullshit.
from a
Yeah.
scorching, record-breaking drought.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
keep going.
Nestle's bottling operation, however, is located on a Native American land, right?
No.
Indian.
No wonder.
This
kind of Native American?
No, this kind of Native American.
Native American?
What what was I watching the other day? I was watching something, and the guy was like Indian, not feather but dot. And I thought, yes,
Not feather but dot.
not feather but dot.
All right, let's keep going. Let's not.
In fact, no,
let's
you
not
know what it
get
was?
distracted by
Johnny
this
Depp.
conversation.
I think it was Johnny Depp. It was Transcendence or something. That's what they were talking about. So anyway, from the Morongo band of Mission
Morongo.
Indians. Yeah,
I wish
doesn't
my
sound
name
very
was
Indian.
Morongo.
right.
That'd be like Attila and Morongo. Bryan.
So anyway, so near
No.
Cabazon,
Bryan.
Cabazon, however you pronounce the little
Cabazon.
town's name, Cabazon, whatever, in the states, arid south. So, in part because Morongo
Oh, no.
are a sovereign nation, right?
The arid South is devoid of water.
Yeah, apparently they are. So anyway, so in part because the Morongo are a sovereign nation, Nestle is not required to tell the California authorities how much water its Cabazon bottling plant is extracting, nor does it need to confirm
okay.
whether
I know what
it
you're
is.
talking about.
Listen, so nor does it need to confirm whether it is abiding by the state's broader rationing strategies. So they're just bottling water like crazy, right? And
what they're doing
so
is
people in like
they're
California
stealing-
can't water the lawn, or
Yeah,
they can't shower, they can't do all that
That's
shit.
not true.
But
That's not true. They're still doing it.
of course they are.
There's-
But what I'm saying is,
They're paying for it though. You
Right.
pay more
right.
Brian
to do that.
Brian and I both lived in California. We will both tell you there is no such thing as a water shortage in California. There is no such thing.
There's an IQ point shortage.
No, there is no water shortage. All they're doing is they're charging whoever is importing the water even more than they deserve.
Well, they don't need to now because
getting more income.
Sure.
for-
more demand and more income.
Hershey.
Sure, absolutely. But here's where it gets even better, right?
Nestle.
Oh,
The-
God,
the
no.
company right away, though.
Yeah, there we go.
This is
Hershey's
what-
chocolate.
Hershey
Chocolate
is a
doesn't flow like a
legitimate
river. It should,
organization. We're not talking shit about Hershey. I'm sorry, Hershey.
Nestle.
We love Nestle.
Hershey makes a really good spread. So anyway, so still the company says it's taking important conservation steps, telling Mint Press that it is
Not
committed. They're committed to managing water supplies for long-term sustainability,
No such thing.
and clarifying that some 80% of the water it bottles in California is sold in the state. Like, so I love that last statement. I mean, cracking up. Like, oh, don't worry about it, folks. No. The water that we're sucking up and we're using, we're selling it back to you at like $5 a bottle. So it's all cool.
Yeah.
We're cool. We're cool.
You want to know what's funny? You want to know what's funny?
It's like
There is absolutely no shortage of water in California.
Well, I would hope not. You're next to the ocean.
It's all for exportation. They're doing it to export water from California, and that's a cool thing because since they have the drought,
Yeah.
they
Gives them
they're
an
not
excuse.
charged as much. The federal government is not charging them as much. It's not charging California as much as it should all the other states that are being charged right now because they're in a drought shortage.
It's not charging
Even
who?
though they're absorbing all
Not charging
the
who?
water from everywhere.
No, you're saying California, the state of California is not charging as much. Not charging whom? The companies
The state
buying
of
the water,
California- state
or
of
the people who
California-
live there?
The state of California is definitely charging people extremely immense prices.
No, I know, but I mean, you just
Outside
said
of
it
California,
doesn't.
no.
Didn't you just
Outside
say
of
it does not charge?
Outside of California, no. They're not charging you to export water from California because it's in the United States.
Oh, so it's well. Here's the funny thing, though. I don't know if most people know this, but our Great Lakes have been for the last 15 years. They've been draining.
Of course.
It's China.
You know why?
China is taking the water over to
Even
China.
more
They're
than
actually taking all our fresh water.
Even more than that.
why don't they just
all of
melt all the
California water,
mountains over there?
You know how many aqueducts there are in California?
Plenty of snow. Turn
Well, that'd be a
on
good
water.
way to make sure that you have water in the desert.
The Los Angeles Act,
Yeah.
they absorb enough water within 1 year to support at least 6 years of the LA lifestyle.
LA is
And
ridiculously large.
That's like what 34 million? What was it last time I checked?
What, LA?
Yeah, LA is.
There are about
like
18
shit,
million
like
people
18
in LA.
million, that's
Yeah.
it?
That's
I
it.
thought
That's
it was more
huge.
than that.
No, the biggest city in the world,
Yeah,
I think, is
Google.
Mexico City.
Anyway,
Mexico City has like 21 million people or some shit.
I would not
The
want to be
That's
there.
insane.
the
I'd never
largest
wanna go there,
income
ever.
of
I don't even want to look
Los Angeles
at
County
a picture of Mexico
is their
City.
water export.
Is what?
Export. They suck all this water out of the land. They suck all the water out of the deserts. Okay, Nevada. There's plenty of water in Nevada.
Well,
You know why
because
they
it's
don't
run
have
in
water?
properly, yeah.
No, it's because California owns all the fucking aqueducts.
In
They
Nevada?
own them all.
In Nevada?
Oh yeah.
Do they?
All
I didn't
the
know
way
that.
to Alaska.
Nice.
They own a
See?
They
And
own a shitload
It's
of
an
aqueducts.
educational
And people
show.
say this isn't an
Water from
educational show.
everywhere.
Who? Who said that?
They suck water from everywhere and then they sell it back to you for twice the price.
Well, absolutely.
All right.
I remember about 10 years
Never
ago.
That's like,
trust
give me
California
your beer.
products. Never
Hey, what's going on
Give me
with
a
my
beer.
headphone?
California
I don't know. What did you do?
It's cutting out. It's completely out now. There we go. Yeah, that's out. Hey, out left ear. No ear.
Better.
There we go.
Any better?
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway, California.
You need to
is-
tape that.
California is literally profiting off of every single human being.
And yet they're
in
still
the
broke.
country. It doesn't matter if you're illegal or not, because you're still paying the same taxes. That's
Lots of board meetings.
income
Lots
tax.
of- No, you're not paying
Lots
income
of
tax.
board meetings.
Oh,
If you're an
yeah,
illegal, how are you paying income tax?
Income tax is coming from people who don't even have to pay taxes.
You guys ever
Illegal
seen
people
those
who work under the
commercials?
table aren't paying income
It
tax.
doesn't matter if they're paying under the table because they're still paying for cigarettes. They're still paying for.
Yeah, but they're not paying an
they're still
income
paying
tax.
Taxes.
You pay tax when you buy stuff, but that's a small portion compared to the income
You
tax.
guys ever
Yeah,
seen those
exactly.
commercials?
You know?
Those
But if
California
you're not
commercials?
paying- if they're not paying income tax at all.
This is the reason. This is the reason.
all the other
This is the reason why
taxes.
people like me want a flat tax. This is the reason why people like me want a flat tax, because you get a flat tax. Okay, you don't have to pay income tax, but now everybody, doesn't matter if you're on welfare, doesn't matter if you're
Fucking drug dealers will fucking
everybody's
going
going to pay tax. You know what I mean?
A child will
right.
pay tax
Absolutely.
when his dad gives him $5 to go buy some fucking candy.
Bubble gum.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody
Hey,
will
hey,
truly
hey.
fucking pay
Hey.
taxes this way.
There are.
And the rich truly will
Hey.
pay taxes
Watch you don't break my keys, Chuck.
because when they want that fucking $1 million yacht, they're gonna have to pay a fucking $1.2 million now.
Chubb's in the house.
Exactly.
Chubb's in the house. We got him riled up. Look at him.
No,
You gotta give him that microphone whenever he starts talking.
That's the point.
Yeah, there you go. Put it between the two. No, it is true. That's
Yeah,
why I
that's
said in the
a quiet
beginning.
one.
That's why I want a flat tax. But
Even
it's
if
never
there is-
it's never going to
even if there is
happen.
a
The flat tax is never going to happen because you
There
can't
is a
really
flat-
embezzle your money that way.
If there is a flat tax, people will still find a way to screw it.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can't.
If you claim less money than you actually make, you're
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
No, it doesn't matter.
A flat
It doesn't
tax-
matter.
a
Flat
flat
tax
tax.
means you don't pay income tax. You just pay tax on everything you buy.
20%. Let's say 20% on the fucking dollar
Everything.
for everything
Everything.
you buy, from a stick of gum to a
Cigarettes to
The
crack.
question is,
to-
the question
to-
is,
to
the
crack.
crack. Yeah.
the question is though,
Drug dealers are the only ones.
Yeah.
would my rent and utilities price go down because everyone is paying?
It'll balance out. Yeah, they'll have to balance it
Is-
out. The entire economy is
that
going to
how
balance
it's
it
gonna
out. Well, I don't know because I didn't propose the legislation,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
But I can tell
the
you
prices
this
of stuff would have to come down
But
a
I
little
can
bit.
tell you this much: your fucking paycheck, there
It
would
would be what it
a
says.
gross and a fucking net. It would be what you fucking
Right.
truly made,
Yeah.
not the 1,800 fucking percent after the government and everyone else fucking rips out of your asshole. You know, so you would actually get
Chubb's in the house.
fucking check.
Honestly, my asshole has been ripped enough.
Uh-oh.
Alright,
sleep
This show's
already.
headed down a whole other
yeah.
direction.
Let's start talking about it.
No, just from the.
We don't need to
time
know
that
about
I
your
turned
personal
18,
life.
Honestly, the time that I turned.
You have
18,
Vaseline though for that
the
moment.
point that I-
Doesn't that make it like you won't have to rip open
Okay,
it?
it's been 4 years. It's been
Yeah.
4 years
Super
since
glue.
I turned 18.
Super good.
That's what
I'm
they use in
22
boxing.
years old right now.
I did the math.
From the time. Shut up. Shut up. You're gonna screw me up. From the time that I turned 18, I have.
At least he got the
4
math
years
right.
ago.
4 years ago.
That's only 4 years.
Uh-huh.
In those 4 years, I have paid more income tax in those 4 years than most
Than the
people have paid income
previous
tax in
3.
the past 10 years. No, it's serious because I lived in California.
Ah,
They gouge you.
Oh,
they
yeah,
gouge
fucking
you
right
for
they
income
do.
tax.
Hell yeah.
Do they have
That's a
those
good
California
thing.
commercials
no, that
here?
is a good
Or
thing.
do they only
That's a
have them in
good thing that
California?
That's a good thing that they gouge you for income tax, but they should also gouge you for cigarette tax, for alcohol tax, for food tax, for any other tax. That's why the.
I think they should just have a flat tax, man. Just do away with the income
Exactly,
tax. Just do a
exactly.
flat
It's
tax
making-
across the board.
It is
That's what I'm
slowly,
saying.
it is slowly making more and more sense why
But-
you should have a flat
Sure,
tax.
but they'll never do it because you
Also-
can't embezzle money that way.
You should
you
have
know?
an income tax and a flat tax.
The only way
Because-
corporations are going to be making money now is just to continue to sell the drugs on the side
Oh,
to meet
dude,
their investors'
they don't
demands.
even need that.
You
They
know?
don't even need that.
Oh yeah, that's how they make
They're
up the
buying
difference.
and- they're already buying and selling companies right now.
No, but that's what these companies
They're
on.
selling off.
That's what these companies do is that to meet their quarterly demands for their investors, if they're falling a little short, they'll just do a cocaine run. Hit the
Why not?
streets, hit the
Why not?
streets, get all that extra
Exactly.
cabbage. There you go. We met
And
the
then
demand.
The fucked up thing
We
is,
should legalize
they
all
have
those
people
drugs
like
and
me.
tax them.
No, the fucked up thing is they have
Fiber.
people like me. The people like me who are fucking paying
We should also legalize
our
prostitution.
asses out in taxes. They
The
have
ass has
people
been
like
ripped
me-
open.
They have people like me spending their hard-earned cash to buy cocaine so they can sell it at a profit, just so they can make enough money to pay taxes and feed their children.
Well, that's one
Are you
big
saying we
reason.
should all become cocaine salesmen?
No, fuck cocaine.
I'm in. I need extra money.
I'll sell to you, Chubb. You sell to Brian. Brian sell to Russ. Russ, you sell to me.
We all need cocaine. We all need extra cocaine and extra cocaine.
Well, here's the thing, man.
We
Well,
don't
what are we
want
gonna do with the cocaine we
and
have?
we'll
Snort
make
it?
money. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
Maybe put it, rub it in the gums, or
Dude, if
put it on
I
a chick's
wake up-
ass.
Or
And,
If I have to
suppository?
wake up for an
Suppository.
8-hour shift and I only had 2 hours of sleep, yeah, I'd like to fucking shove some cocaine in me.
yeah. Did you ever see?
I'm not going to because I love my brain.
Did you ever see The Wolf of Wall Street?
No.
No, I-
Great movie.
I heard
Great movie. I just
Don't-
watched it the
don't
other
spoil
night,
it.
dude. It is great.
Don't spoil
Watch it. Go on
Have you
popcorn
seen
time
Guardians
and
of
watch
the
it.
Galaxy?
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh yes, yes, that is a fucking
Love that
awesome movie.
No, but
That movie was
the wolf, dude. You know what the Wolf on Wall Street is kind of?
I see it.
The Wolf the Wolf of Wall Street is kind of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Is it?
Really?
Kind of.
I love that
I mean,
movie.
it is.
That's a good
The
movie,
dude,
too.
the dude was so. Oh, you just gotta see it. I mean, it's the premise isn't the same.
I need to get more booze.
The premise isn't the
I
same.
need to fuel your inspiration.
You need to. We gotta have the one retard on the show. Like,
Is that Russ?
all of us are smart. Well, he's actually.
Oh, now he's working out. Look at him. Hey. You know what? In all fairness, I used to play with these guys, Ron and John, way back in the day. John would
Now he's just making
literally
noise.
John would literally work out. He'd be lifting weights with a joint in his mouth. And I'm like, dude,
I'll lift
how do you do that?
mouth, I don't
I-
care.
You know what? When I have a joint in my mouth, the only thing I want in there is food.
No.
Joint on this
No.
side, food on this side.
I'm
I'm not thinking about. I'm not thinking about going out and working out. Is the last thing on my mind.
The thing about marijuana, it like frees you up. As soon as you smoke it, you have nothing to do afterwards. Because you've forgotten.
I don't want to do anything
You
afterwards.
got your initial
You
plans.
no longer have any obligations.
The game plan's out the window.
So you can create an entire.
Maybe that's why John was working out while he was,
Exactly, because
Make sure you don't forget.
He's filling in all the spaces, man. You gotta fill in the
You know what though? I
spaces.
think to myself, imagine how high you would get with all that.
No,
good
it doesn't-
inhale and exhale and
no,
everything.
No, don't even think about it, because that'll put you to sleep.
What? Just thinking about it?
No,
Yes.
just inhaling that way. The way you were like expressing. it to
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
That
I smoked weed before once,
Once.
but I did not inhale and did not like it.
I think this is the best show ever.
Oh, man. It's so much better
With a drunk guy.
Better with assholes.
with more people than just us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's
We're not
much
just
better
talking to
with
each other.
A couple of assholes.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
We need some inspiration.
Yeah.
You should come.
Trump-
You should come
Trump
with me
doesn't
more
give a
often.
fuck what he says, and he'll say everything.
He's too tired right now.
Yeah.
We need to get him some cocaine.
Here-
Do you have any cocaine?
Want some cocaine?
If you do,
I'm
call that
gonna dig it
number.
up from the garden, all right? I'm gonna dig up a cocoa.
So all right, so here's a cool thing, right? So I think this is also the same person, Colorado Cat, which is a friend of mine. Actually, that's not her name, but I call her that. It's my name for her. So they have saltwater powered car. Saltwater
Okay.
powered car.
Well, is
gets
this
the
gonna be
go
like-
ahead in Europe?
Is this going to be like the thorium-powered car, or the solar roadways, which end up to just be?
No. This is different.
Bullshit.
They're all.
No, this is
bullshit.
no, this is not because this actually got the go ahead in Europe. This is actually there's big time money and
So-
shit in it.
I want to research that one.
Yeah, well, please do. But the cool thing is, we lost half of the show, but they'll be back. I think one's going to be back more loaded, and the other one, I don't know. Maybe he's getting his blood sugar checked or something.
Oh,
So,
but now it's just us. and
now it's
boring
just
again.
us. Yeah. But anyway, so here's the thing about this car, right? It's saltwater powered car, and it gets to go ahead in Europe. The E-Sport limousine. It doesn't look like a limo though, so I don't know why they call it that, but it looks nothing like a limo. It's
A
actually
limo
really
with
sporty
4
looking.
doors.
I think it's 2-door if I remember right in a photo. It looks like it looks like a sports car, like they all do. So anyway, so the E-Sport limousine, built by the German company Quant, runs on electric. Yeah, Quant runs.
That's pretty close to
Yeah, it is.
a word I like.
Yes, like Quant.
That should be a derogatory term. Like if you
Quant,
hate
you
someone,
quant.
you quant.
Kind of like when they say, what's that thing there, like you biatch. How they started that? They turned bitch to biatch.
Quant.
Yeah, now this is Quant. So anyway, it runs.
Kind of smart too, because it's kind of like quantum physics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it runs on electrolyte flow, which is actually cool because that's what my body runs on. Get them electrolytes in me. So electrolyte flow cell power system made by Nano Flow Cell that generates a staggering 920 horsepower. Wow.
0 to 62 miles in 2.8 seconds.
Yes, 2.8 seconds.
Some salt water.
And propels the car to a top speed of 217.5 miles per hour. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
miles
but how
per
well was
hour.
the corner?
At 217 miles an hour, not that well, I would imagine.
Well, we'll have to see it on Top Gear.
Yeah.
We'll have to be on Top Gear.
Oh, I'm
before
sure
I
it will be.
consider
It is
trying.
badass though. But all I think to myself is 920 horsepower. That is a freaking massive amount of horsepower. And I brought this up actually. I was at I stopped in at CAD, the Center for Assistive
But how
Technology.
good is it on fuel?
Well, it doesn't matter. Right along the ocean, just scoop that shit right in the engine.
It's gonna be like 3 miles to the gallon, but it's a gallon of salt water, which
Yeah, it's
costs
salt
like
water.
3 cents.
So you get some
Until
water,
we're
and you
all out of
dump in some
salt
salt.
Till we're all out of salt water.
Well, we're fucked if we're out of salt water.
Yeah.
So
Nestle is gonna like. Nestle's gonna.
I didn't
own
think
the
about that.
automobile
I didn't think
industry
about
now.
that, but Nestle's gonna start buying up the ocean. So
And
yeah.
start taxing people who, well, not taxing, but
Yeah.
charging people to hang out by the beach,
Yeah.
get a tan.
But I thought
You're
this
too
was pretty
close
cool.
to my fuel source.
Yeah. So
You're getting it all over your body.
but the nice thing, again, this is like another power source for engines and cars and shit that emits zero emissions. So here we have like solar power, hydrogen power.
Nuclear.
We have, we had nuclear power. We had electric power. Now we got saltwater power. None of these.
I want to know how that works.
No emissions, though. No emissions in either one. And which one is the one we're still driving, creating, and doing all over? The only one that actually is like, is kicking out CO2 like there's no tomorrow. The oil, the gasoline power car. Yeah. So it's funny. I mentioned this to a friend of mine earlier in a conversation. He's like, well, it's still, it has to get power from somewhere, so you're still releasing emissions. I'm like, well, no, it has no emissions. A car does. He's like, yeah, but you got to power the batteries. I'm like, oh. He's like, coal. And I'm like, oh, you mean like, the electric companies that still use coal and shit like that. So yeah, I guess technically we're still using emissions, but the car itself isn't kicking out any, So I would love to see a world where we just kind of get away from all that shit. Like, I don't miss
Gravity
smog.
power.
Gravity power, yeah.
I'm talking about Tesla. Wasn't that Tesla?
With gravity power?
Yeah. You were talking about it the other time I was over here.
What was I talking about?
Something about a gyroscope.
We
We need other people in here. They're gone. Our show's dying.
Yeah. So anyway, I was watching like Transcendence. Have you seen that movie?
No.
After I don't know if you ever saw the little 24-minute film that I did. I made while I was in bed. I was stuck in bed at the hospital, so I made a movie. And what the hell? The Mind of Adam. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Anyway, the whole concept of Mind of Adam is Adam was given the name given to his first self-aware computer, who's actually was a person's soul that was downloaded into a computer. They figured out through the use of crystals and other methods how they can put it into a machine and sort of hold on to the soul until eventually one day the technology comes out where you can take the soul, create a living soulless body, so to speak, and put the soul back into it.
So basically, like the Chinese.
That's what the Chinese are doing?
No, they're the soulless body that we would use.
Oh, well, if we can get them cheap, right? So
that was my racist comment of the day.
Racist bastard.
Asian people, well, nobody has souls, so it really is not racist to
Well,
say they don't have souls.
You know what? I get into this topic with people sometimes, and especially women like to talk about the soul for some reason. And
I mean, I have soul in my music that I play.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
funky.
Well, yeah.
Funky.
But the thing is, like, to me, like anything alive would have a soul. Like I don't understand how a human would have a soul.
I'm
but a
talking
fly
about
wouldn't.
like the spiritual.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
but that's what people always, they talk about the soul. Oh, he's got a beautiful soul, or she's got a beautiful soul. But they never think, or my dog is a beautiful soul, cat is a beautiful soul. But they never think of the stink bug as having a soul, or
Your consciousness.
it's
all it
just
is.
well, whatever you want to call it. But the point is, to me, it all like I don't see why a stink bug wouldn't have a soul if we have a soul. And that's what I mean. That's what a
That's
lot
why
of
I'm
people,
saying no one has a soul.
or everyone has a soul. It's one or the other. You know what I mean? Either no one has it or everyone has it.
It is mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if it's alive and it
So
makes
we're
decisions,
we're on a different end here.
what end
I
are
think
we on?
everything has a soul, and I think
Well,
nothing
it's
has
it's
a
the
soul.
same thing, really. There's no one end or the other. It's either everything has a soul or nothing has a soul. I don't care. To me, either one is fine. But I can't. I don't pick and choose.
I'm
you
just
know?
trying to make myself not be racist here, even though I am. Everybody's racist.
Well, everybody is to a certain point. Absolutely. And then I got to thinking, like, watching the movie Transcendence, and in this movie, he basically becomes like a god. And I remember the movie came out literally a couple of months after I made my little film laying in bed. I knew nothing about this movie at all. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, shit, damn, there goes my concept, right? Not that it's an original concept or anything, but it's the whole Ghost in the Machine kind of thing. But yeah, this movie came out, so I was like, oh, and I gotta watch it. So I finally saw it the other night, and I was relieved that it was really nothing like my movie, you know. But it did bring up an interesting topic because in one section, he's inside, the computer, and he pretty much owns the entire town, and he can go wherever he wants, do whatever he wants. Basically, he's like a god, for lack of a better term. And this quantum machine that it created was so powerful that it could read your emotions, it could see, your pupils dilate, all that shit. It could just pick up.
So it's like the guy from Lie to Me. That's a good show.
No, okay. So then I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, so then what would a conversation? All these people are like, love God and can't wait to meet God and blah blah blah. But what the hell?
Where is God?
But what an annoying conversation that would be. If you think about it, trying to have a conversation with like an all-knowing, everything powerful creator, you would never. As soon as you start saying something, you'll be like, I know.
That would be pretty.
Don't say it. I know. Yes, it would answer everything before you even ask it.
It would know everything.
Right.
It'd be talking to a know-it-all.
But worse.
We already have.
But worse.
I don't need that in my life.
It would be even worse.
When did we start this? When did we start on air? It might be pretty close to that hour marker, but it doesn't really.
Oh, where's our little marker? I thought, didn't we have a little time thing that runs?
Do we?
I thought we did.
I don't know. We'll just stop at like 7:20.
Yeah, that sounds good. I have no idea, but yeah. So let me see here.
We're not nearly as popular as we were last week.
No, but your mom's still watching, so that's good. At least I think it's her.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Most of the views we get come after the show's
Well, that's true.
up.
That's true. And that's all good.
It's nice because you don't have to, stick around when it's live. You don't have to wait for it because it'll always be there, uploaded on YouTube.
Yes. Oh, another thing actually that movie made me think. It's a pretty cool movie. Just the ending, it's kind of like turns into a romance love story kind of, and that's how it ends, But the concept of it's actually pretty deep. But then it got me thinking, like, and you're not to this point yet. I'm 46, and I find myself sometimes being stuck, like in the 80s or the 90s. You know what I mean? Like most people kind of get stuck in their teens and their 20s. As they get older, all of a sudden, like...
Because that's when everything was interesting.
Right. Things were interesting. You're learning new things. You can legally drink now, all that crap, you know what I mean? So it was everything that seems more exciting.
Anybody cares about talking about.
What?
When they were young.
Yeah, right. So...
One time.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on now?
but then I got to think
just
to
do
myself,
interesting stuff all the time.
Yeah. But even, you know what, it doesn't matter what you do, because I've done a lot of different shit. And I still find myself, like, I'm more comfortable in the 80s and 90s, because that's when I was, like I said, in my teens and my 20s, and that's when, like, everybody's cool, hip, you're just having fun, you're not worried about paying a mortgage, or, you haven't really been hammered and beaten up by life. Most people, by the time they get to my age, man, they're just, like, set in their ways, Okay, I get up, I go to work, I cash the check on Friday, mow the lawn, play with the kids on the weekend, and, Monday comes, I start that routine again. Summertime, I take a week off, go on vacation somewhere. People get stuck in these ruts, and they kind of stop.
That's what existence is.
Well, it is because we've been trained that way, and people have been conditioned into that existence, and that's the whole thing. It's like everything.
It's all about just slowly climbing your way to the top until you're dead.
Yeah, but
like
again,
in school,
you do that because that's how you were conditioned. That's how we here in the West were conditioned.
Yeah,
that you have to do is you got to go to school. You got to get that good job. You got to
you're
blah
at the
blah.
bottom. You're in like first grade. And then when you get out of elementary school, you're like, oh, you're the king of the world.
So you see the conditioning.
Boom. Then Then
adult
school,
life starts.
High school. Then you have to go to college, and then when you go to your job, you're just at the bottom of the totem pole again, but you're already like 22 years old.
Yeah, but this time you were conditioned into that. So like your childhood starts all over again in the 20s, except life is not so nice and
then
calm.
Finally, when you're all nice and comfortable and you retire, you're too old to enjoy all of your wealth. And then you just die.
If you create any wealth, most people don't, man. There are a lot fewer people well off and rich nowadays than there were when I was growing up. and even fewer then than the generation before.
It's
So,
depressing.
well, it is, but
Talk
it's
about
reality.
something else.
The thing is though, the whole reason that all came up is because I was thinking to myself, like, would that happen to the self-aware machine, or like a god? Would a god be stuck, like, oh man, back in the days of Noah, life was good. That's when I was flooding shit.
Back
Sodom and Gomorrah, I taught those motherfuckers.
back before Earth was even created, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
life
don't
was
even
great.
know.
That was, oh, Jesus Christ, that Earth, man, that kills me. I've been paying child support ever since. So,
Jesus, you're paying eternal child.
she can't even prove that was my child. Oh, never mind. You walked on water. Damn it. Yeah, I had to go do it. You walked on water in front of, a grand jury.
Or maybe that's just a Nestle conspiracy.
Yes. That
It
Peter,
wasn't
whatever
water.
his name is, that dink. Mr. CEO. Yeah, so, yeah.
Anything that has to do with water.
Nestle and Jesus are
Nestle
involved.
controls it, yeah. The whole Bible, whole Christianity thing was just a ploy thought up by Nestle to control
He too worked for the Vespasian,
the world's water
for the
supply.
Caesars.
Because we need water to live,
We do.
food,
We do.
and if you control that, then you control everything.
Oh, water, food, shelter, man.
And you can make up a nifty little story about Jesus, the
Then-
son of Allah.
And then the best part is that, you create a whole bunch of things that you need, like, electricity, gas, things like that. You don't give the people a choice. But then you give them a choice if they want McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, this burger place, that burger place, joint place, black jeans, brown jeans, gray jeans, blue jeans. You have choices when it doesn't matter. All right, now that we've depressed everyone, it is time to log off, isn't it?
Is it?
What are we
we
doing
still
on
have
the
like
next show?
3 minutes.
We still have 3 minutes? When are we
Yeah.
going to do the next show?
I
Are
don't
we
know.
going back to Mondays, or are we going to do Fridays, or what are you going to do?
We can do Mondays. We
Mondays?
can do whenever.
Wow, we're going to do a fast one, and a quick turnaround here, because we did today's show, and then we're going on Monday. Woo!
That might happen.
Man. Hopefully I can recover by then.
From what?
I don't know. From your brother.
Oh, from the show.
From the show.
From this mentally taxing show.
Hey, man, your mom bailed on us.
Oh, that happened like twice. Let's not pay attention to that.
No? Okay. I don't anyway.
Like I said before about being overly conscious about what's going on right here.
I'm
Just
not.
be whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Karate chops?
Yes. We should be karate chopping each other
Karate chopping.
instead of
Nice.
focusing on the backwards.
Well, that does actually drive me mad. I look at that thing backwards, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm actually in their computer screen. Like they're right on the other side.
Well, we are.
Right, but that's
As a
how
matter
I
of
feel.
fact,
Not my image,
I
but
can-
me,
I
myself.
can reach out and
and
touch
I.
the person that's watching this right now.
He can.
But I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Because I
give it
don't
away.
need people to see that kind of power.
I'm with you.
They're not ready for it yet, you know?
Well, obviously not. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna go on Monday then for the next show.
Monday?
Is that what we're doing?
We'll work on it.
Okay. We gotta figure this thing out on
Last
how
time we
to
had
tap
like a
guest
whole
in.
week to
Right.
plan it,
But
and
here's
we
the
had people watching.
Here's the thing, though.
No, we don't.
If we get Michael on, I need to give him a heads up because he is kind of busy with the 8,000 things he does. And Mike would be a very cool
That's
guest.
something we can figure out when the show's over.
Yes. Is that what we're gonna do? That's our game plan.
That's our post-show
Post show.
conversation.
Nice.
Even though we're talking about it right now,
Well, we are.
but it's almost over.
I'm excited to get Mike on here.
If
Mike,
anybody,
you know what?
if
Mike
anybody
actually-
watch it this far in, then shouldn't really be expecting much anymore.
Mike actually did the voiceover for Mind of Adam,
What's that?
the movie that I made while I was laying in bed in the hospital.
I wasn't listening to the name.
Oh, okay. Mind
But
of
I know
Adam.
what you're talking about.
So yeah,
I need to watch
he did
that.
the voiceover for me.
Is
for
that on
that.
YouTube?
It is on YouTube. Well,
I'll
actually,
watch
it's also, if you go to my website at attiladomos.com. Why don't we put that damn thing up there? And if you go on there, you can find the movie under filmmaker section, I think. Sorry, I find myself just staring. Always impressed when somebody spells my name correctly.
It's not correctly on there because it's just
It looks backwards.
Somab
Somab Alita.
Slita.
Alita.
that
So
looks like
anyway,
nice.
yeah, Mike did the voiceover because I was when I was doing the movie, like I was in a Clinitron bed, and those things are very loud. You're literally laying like on a jet engine. It's just it's a steel frame bed. The bed must weigh 20,000 pounds, man. Freaking thing's
I've
heavy.
had to carry those
You know?
upstairs before.
Yeah, I'm sure. But it's filled with like this much sand at the bottom. There's probably about a foot of sand. And then underneath that, there's a real powerful engine that's blowing up hot air. So the sand with the sand blowing up, it keeps you, it simulates like 0 G. So if you have any wounds or whatnot, it's not putting any pressure on them, you know. But it is very, very loud. So I tried to actually do my own voiceover, and I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. All you hear in the background is like.
Well, now you have me.
Right. Well, like I said,
I'd
Mike.
love to do a voiceover.
I called
Anytime.
Mike, and I was like, hey man, just use your little iPhone, talk into that, just read the script, and he did. So that was very cool. So it actually sounds better with him doing it because he enunciates better than I do.
Enunciates?
Enunciates.
Yeah, I can tell he enunciates.
Enunciates.
Just by what you just said.
Exactly. Much better than I do. So yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully, we'll have Mike on the next show. We're going back to 6 o'clock on Monday?
6 o'clock sounds like a good time, unless I'm late.
You know you're not working?
That's what we're going to talk about after. I might be.
We've got
I don't
lots
think
to
so.
talk about.
I think Monday.
So you might be lying to the crowd then.
I might be.
I'm here Monday at 6, so it ain't up to me.
Well, you'll read about it on Facebook.
You will. If you have me as a friend on Facebook.
Which you might.
Maybe. Okay.
And if you don't, you have me.
What if they don't have
And I'll
either
post
one of
it
us?
too.
Nice.
Well, I don't think any of those people exist. And anyway, even if no one is friends with us that's watching this right now, the next one
Befriend us.
exactly just subscribe to them on YouTube, and then the
That'll
post
work.
will come up whenever, and then you'll see it, and then you'll know when
Wow.
the next live event is.
Beautiful.
Using the old
Indian?
well, I was over here.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they put it over there.
They might.
That's where I'd put it if I was whatever that religion is.
That's the gangsta way, Hindu.
Yeah, it'd be like a teardrop.
Gangsta.
An
The
upside down
gangsta
teardrop.
Hindi. Upside down. No, that's just the black metal.
All the gangstras, they do the teardrops down here. What if you did it upside down? What if you were like hanging by your legs?
Yeah, that's like
hanging by your
that'd be
ankles,
like the death metal
and you
where
were
they
crying.
do crosses upside down and stuff. I just want the spider web to prove that I killed someone. All right, we're out of topics to talk about, so
Yeah, we're signing off.
this
Nobody
is Attila, and that is
B-Man.
B-Man. Okay, Attila and B-Man. We're out of here, and we'll see you Monday, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see you whenever we feel like it. Because this is our show, not yours.
Snap. All right, sign off, man.
All right.
Bye.